Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha in Upashama Prakarana, section 27. An allegorical story of King Bali continues. King Bali, who gained immense power and became the ruler of the three worlds. The storyline, the allegorical implication: suppose you became the ruler of all you imagine. Now, what are you going to do after that? If you have become the ruler, soon you will become fed up with the world, because the world gives you the same thing again and again. Then, therefore, Bali, having come to recognize that fulfillment, absolute fulfillment of life is not possible in the world of time and space causation, in the world of birth and death. And so he began to practice profound meditation, guided by, also he received inspiration from his guru Shukracharya. And now in this practicing process, you are being given insight into the practice of vichar. Vichar is a reflection. First stage, your mind must be very quiet, free of the pressure of rajas and tamas. Tamas makes your mind dull, rajas keeps it distracted. Allow sattva. And when you have come to that calm state of mind, I'm giving you ideal setup. In practice, however, you don't have to wait until calm state has come. You will start sitting down, even in your agitated state. Start doing your mantra. You start doing prayer. All that begins to create calmness. But when calmness has come profoundly, then switch your attention to what is the greatest. What is that which you love most? If the three worlds are given, of that, what is the most? Surprisingly, aham. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. for the sake of Atma, the me, the I am. If this I am isn't there, then what's the use of all that? So the I am has to be first understood by you. And if you understand it, another surprising thing, you have nothing else to understand. All this world is extension of the profound urge to realize speaking in allegorical language, God has created all these immense things for one single purpose, for every soul to realize, who am I? Another surprising thing, God didn't create anything. Because through individual mind, the creation becomes reality. Who gives the reality to creation? Every individual mind. Who gives the reality to the dream? Every individual mind. Nobody created your dream with all precision and all that. Who creates all countless illuminations of the sun? Every illumination is so majestic. Who creates it? Of course, one way of thinking, yes, sun created it. But that interpretation is coming through your limited mind. Unlimit your mind. Then you realize sun never created it. It's your perceptions of the sun. Your perceptions are refracted perceptions. They are not revealing. Now bring more. Coming to the understanding of I am, just like the sun creates all that, creates and at the same time doesn't create. Your I am has created all that as well as has not created anything. Your I am creates your dream state, your waking state, your sleep state. Your I am creates the illusion of cycle of birth and death. The I am is behind all this nonsense. I'm joking. All this mayhem. Aham is behind the mayhem. But now, understanding that aham, that's your central point. In the led by limited mind, led by ignorance, your aham directs you to find security in worldly, material comfort. Why do you need material comfort? Why do you attend to your house, your tables, your offices? Not for the tables, not for the house. For yourself, aham. All things become dear for your aham. But your aham is not understood by your mind perfectly. Now, this is the project. Understand. Continue to live your life. Don't leave anything aside. Do all your duties. But turn your attention to who am I. And scripture process that the mind begins to enjoy discovering who am I. And that process means first your mind is directed towards God. See glory of God manifesting everywhere. Then you are given an instruction, you should come closer to God. And you are given a comfortable understanding that if you take a few steps, God takes 1,000 times more steps. So you become comfortable that his steps are very bigger. When that level is well grasped, now comes the question, what is the relation between I and God? And Upanishad shouts out, Aham Brahmasmi. This I is Brahman. All the gods you have worshipped, all the sages and saints you have adored, all that, the source is I am. Where is that I am? I am the only real. Aham Brahmasmi. I led you to many things. More highlighted theme at this stage is forming nishchaya. When a mind has become relaxed and in satsanga atmosphere type of sattvic environment, then that mind now begins to understand with firmness. Otherwise, all things you do understand, but there is no firmness about it. They are all market. The monkey business. What you understand today, tomorrow you don't have the same value. But the understanding relating to who am I, that's totally different. It's unshakable understanding. But that understanding sneaks into your sattvic mind gradually, progressively. So each time when you make an affirmation, I am not the body, I am not the mind. All these worries that are there, they are just mosquitoes. And all the problems, no problem. I'm Satchit Anand, absolute reality, pure consciousness, bliss. When you allow your mind to work upon this, a firm conviction begins to grow deep in your unconscious. That's called affirmation. And that's a powerful process, most dynamic process leading one to enlightenment. If your nishchaya about yourself is shaky, so no matter how many things you attain, with shaky feet, shaky hands, and what else? What else? All attainments will not be of any use to you. Will be only a source of big. How can there be hatred and attachment in me when even the mind and its thought waves do not exist in me. Even though you are using your mind, you are making an affirmation that you are beyond the mind. Because your mind allows you to see yourself in the physical plane, using your body, etc. Your mind allows you to see yourself in your dream. In your dream, you don't have the body. Mind, therefore, allows you to understand that in reality, you are not the body. The same mind allows you to understand that in deep sleep, mind seems to move away. But you are not at a loss, not an inch of you. So the mind allows you to understand that you are underlying the three states, waking, dream, deep sleep. These states are variables. Your I am is invariable reality. Same mind allows you to. When that mind allows you, the process becomes a process of affirmation. And it's the result of listening, reflection, and now you are getting into deep meditation, which the bone of that meditation is affirmation. I am the all-pervading self, which is ever blissful, non-dual, devoid of all the projections of the mind. All your experiences are mind's projections. And mind itself is not the reality. When all your desires are satisfied, mind simply disappears. When a cloud loses its moisture, as the rays of sun pass through it, then ultimately the cloud is no more. So the mind is no more. But it's the mind that creates the drama of bondage. It has covered the sun, dark cloud. That's the mind, gripped by ignorance, creates the drama of bondage. And the same mind, when you begin to practice sadhana and you allow bhavana shuddhi, your feeling to be purified, as if rays of the sun begin to pass through the cloud. The same cloud that was hiding the sun, now praising the sun. How does the cloud praise? It shines. And the sunlight comes through it and becomes a rainbow. Goddess Saraswati gives tongue to it. And finally, ultimately, the cloud just simply moves away. Your mind leads you on to all this, but ultimately your mind simply is no more. Reality alone exists. Brahma Satyam Jagana Mithya. Brahman alone is real. Simple way of understanding, day by day. Come to your bed during night. You go on looking at various things. You are aware of your body, aware of your problems, aware of your pillow, aware of your couch, whatever. But when you go into deep sleep, all move away. That's simple illustration to make you understand that such a thing is possible. Day by day you are rehearsing it. Nature makes you rehearse, but you don't have a harsh about it. Harsh means joy in Sanskrit language. Adorations to the self, the essential nature of myself, come to a most gripping situation. We have been adoring God here, adoring God there. But now, adorations to God. Aham Brahmasmi. Adorations to the I am. It is that the I am that is shining through all. Two ways, that I am transcends all, absolute reality. The sun transcends all its illuminations. Another way, all illuminations are the sun. I am beyond all this. I am all this. दोनों हाथों में लड्डू है. You win in both hands. I am verily that blissful Brahman who has pervaded this entire universe. Elaborating that point, Aham Brahmasmi. I am vaster than the ether. Look at space. Nothing is vaster than space. I'm talking practical point of view. But the I am is far, much vaster than all physical space. Again, I'm pointing out to that Bhutakash, Chittakash, Chidakash. Bhutakash, physical space. It's physical reality. You need always a spacious environment around you. But in spite of all the physical spaciousness, if your mind is working in a negative way, all that spaciousness moves away and you are under crunch. You are restricted. Crab has grabbed you. On the other hand, if your mind has turned to a positive movement, a Godward movement, and you allow your mind to have the joy of devotion, the joy of mystic inspiration, you begin to have bihar, a kind of entertaining movement within your mind. Now your space is totally different. You have a mental space in which you can just do so many things. You can climb heights. You enjoy lots of expansion. And then finally, ultimately, when the mind itself moves away, there is nothing but absolute space. Akash, Chidakash. That Akash is known as Chit, pure awareness, Chaitanya. Chit, Chaitanya, Pragyana, these are synonymous terms. Prajnanam Brahma, That pure awareness is absolute Brahman. You are always aware, but beware. That awareness of yourself is a shaky awareness. Awareness that relates itself to the workings of the senses, mind, intellect, ego. All that awareness is shaky. They are reflections. Behind all that awareness, it's absolute awareness. That's called Chaitanya, Brahman. I'm vaster than the ether, minuter than the minutest atom. In dream, there are big things. As well as in your dream, you could be a person stitching a cloth with a needle. And the eye of the needle is also important for you because you put a thread in. Even the space within the eye of that needle is not reality when you wake up. So you are minuter than even the space within the eye of the needle. Try to figure out. What you consider minute from your mental point of view, the divine self, the real I am, is minuter. How can the world process, consisting of pleasure and pain, ever affect me? When the mind itself moves away, when you are in deep sleep, nothing can affect you. Similarly, when you are not identified with body, mind, intellect, when you are not identified with body and dependent upon the practical realities of the world, when all this has become maya, illusion, then how can you be affected by? How can the sky be affected by clouds, no matter in which way the clouds present themselves? Just as a person who loses wealth by his right hand but gains the same by his left does not become affected by the feeling of gain or loss. It's an allegorical way of saying gain or loss do not apply. Same electricity that you are receiving becomes short-circuited. So even though we are paying electrical people, you have short-circuited. So when it's short-circuited, you say it's a loss. Correct it, it's a gain. But again, loss. And then gain. So one hand, loss. Another hand, gain. And go on experiencing it because you have both hands. In the same manner, there is no gain or loss for me, who am the self that underlies all names and forms. I was ever the true subject, behind all the activities of this world. Subject implying, I am the true reality. In your dream, the dream subject is you. And all the dream world, therefore, is nothing but you. Even a roach in your dream is you, like it or not. Similarly, I am the true subject behind the entire universe. That I am is everything. The same am I now and forever. That I has no change. It has no history, no geography. Because I am Brahman. Nothing new or different from Brahman has ever existed or will ever exist. Truth alone is. Nothing different from truth ever existed or will ever exist. Otherwise, truth is no longer. Let me therefore abide in my essential nature, Brahman. So that's the conclusion of his Nishchaya, affirmation. That is my goal. Let me experience the revelation of the thus having reflected upon the nature of the self, King Bali meditated upon Brahman with the help of Om. And having transcended the three states of waking, dream and deep sleep, he passed into the state of Turiya, the transcendental state. Very quickly, Yoga Vasistha gave, but I will give you a little more detail. In the process of Nishchaya, affirmation, Om Upasana gives a tremendous support. First point to understand, when you chant Om, the entire vocal range is utilized. With O, you open your throat. With M, lips close. You have no other way to speak but between these two terminals. So, when you have said Om, all that you could say is implied in that Om. Everything you say has its impact on your nervous system. It has a profound psychological and mystical meaning behind it. It is God's creation. Science is still not complete. So, through literature, there is a minute mantric effect comes into your personality. If you speak gracious literature, it has a wonderful effect on your nerves. You speak ungrammatical. I'm joking. Ungracious literature. Lot of jarring sounds. Jars you and affects others. Literature is based upon that subtle science of Bijaksharas, root letters. But that's a broad understanding. Out of this science, the sages have brought out mantra. Importance of mantra in your sadhana. And source of all mantras is Om. One basic mantra that is the root of all, which implies it's from throat to lip, all contained by the word, by the letter Om. And when you chant the Om, it becomes also a technique to create a resonance in your spinal column. And it has a powerful effect on your nervous system. Just a sample, I'm breathing in. Oh, oh, oh. And you must know that Amen and Amin in other religions, they are modifications, variations. Now, Om has 4 aspects. Sanskrit letter is A, U, Ma. In English, you can translate it A, U, and M. But when you have done, when A and U blend, it becomes O. It's just A sound, A. With U blended, it becomes O. And when M dominates everything, O. And all end up with a joyous mind. Goes beyond the 3. Now coming to more profound. Meditating on Om. First stage of meditation is about awe of Om, the A of Om. A of Om, the center, Kundalini center, relates to Manipur chakra, navel center. It is a center where the body identity is secure. And it's called Kriya Shakti. All the sadhana, etc. you do, and activates the mystic center. A is emanating, you imagine the A is emanating from the navel center. First visualize beautiful lotus and A sound. But when we say A sound emanating, your mind is hearing only Om. But your focus is on A aspect of Om. Now your Vichar movement, first give attention your feeling of your body and your awareness of body identity. So you are focusing on who am I. Now, as awe is radiating from your navel, first stage, I am the body. Now, the spiritual entity behind you slaps you. Says, bravo, you are the body. But what is this body? Body is all the 5 elements. And all these elements, where are they? They're everywhere in the universe. Can you separate any element from all this? So if you are the body, I can't be strong and wise enough to say, I am all. I'm the entire world of matter. Because from the world of matter, your body is being formed. And your body goes on shedding into the world. So, identity with the body is called Vishwa. The revelation, I am all, is called Virat. Confined to body, you are just Vishwa. But Vishwa relates to Virat. Virat is the ocean, Vishwa is a little wave. That type of relaxed message you give to your mind. Since I am the body, I am the entire universe. And allow your mind to get further involved. You can single out the elements. I am the earth element. I am the water element. And try to think of all the things water does. And become a kid. Enjoy everything. I'm fire element. I'm air element. I'm ether element. And then these elements have psychological components. Means just want to sit. Water, you want to flow. Flow, how do you flow? By developing affection, moha, expressions of love and attachment. You are flowing. Water. Water can be positive, water can be negative. That's a whole voluminous work behind the elements. But I'm coming back. So the first stage, as you are chanting Om mentally, now you are not chanting loud Om, mentally, listening to a sound of Om. And while you are listening, you are working upon first attending the body, yes, from toes to the head. How wonderful the body is, so many complications. And now expanding. Not only body is a wave in the ocean of matter. So, that entire world of matter, even millions of light years away, all that matter is part of the cosmic Virat. I am. And now come to the next stage. Next stage, your heart center. In your heart center, now, same Om is radiating, but the emphasis is on the second aspect of Om, which I describe it as you. And now you give attention, and you are like becoming more grown up. The idea I am the physical body, who told you that? Mind. Mind created the monkey business. Can you prove your body, any part of it existing independent of mind? You may say, oh yes. But who is doing that? Your mind. Your mind is putting things near you. Mind is putting things away from you. Everything, whether you put it near or away, is work of your mind. In brief, the body idea is mind, not physical body. It's easy to understand if you go to hospitals and see how people are rendered unconscious. And in that stage, physicians touch brain centers and make the patient speak out several things. All realities become confused. So all your experiences are not happening in your body or in your nervous system. They are mental projections. Your mind. Everything happens in your dream just by your mind. So don't be surprised. But then now come into this individual mind, identified with individual mind, called Tejas. Tejas is effulgent. But that Tejas relates to Hiranyagarbha, cosmic mind. The mind that has projected the entire universe. That mind is like the ocean. Your mind is a wave in that ocean. So wave goodbye to your limited mind and dive into the ocean. Mind has that amazing power to draw from resources beyond your limits. And how much that resource? Cosmic mind. Mind is wave, cosmic mind is the ocean behind it. In devotional terms, God's mind. You are part of God's mind. Now come to third stage. In the second stage, your affirmation is, I am mind, therefore I am cosmic mind. And now third stage, when you go to sleep, you become identified with your causal body. You are unconscious. Your unconscious also, that unconscious is the reality behind your mind. Mind is the reality behind your body. Behind your mind is your unconscious. So that unconscious is a profounder reality. And that unconscious is ma. Can't be described. Mum. And the cosmic causal body is God Himself. Brahman stepping through the veil of Maya. The first stage of Brahman is Ishvara. That Ishvara is and then all transcended. You can open up your heart to a different level, the depth of your heart, the root. And that's transcendental, Aham Brahmasmi. And in that heart, Hridayam, you discover I am Atma Brahman. This Atma is Brahman, the Absolute. So you have gone through Om Upasana and settled with, oh, I am Brahman. And that's what? Bali meditated on Brahman with the help of Om. Having transcended the three states of waking, dream, and deep sleep, he passed into the state of Turiya, the fourth, the transcendent. He said it so quickly, but I detailed it. As a result of this, King Bali became immersed in samadhi, wherein he was no longer caught in the maze of the mind, no longer dependent upon the world, no longer conditioned by the triad of seer, seen, and sight. He transcended even the ego thought and became like a painted picture, or like a flame that burns steadily in a windowless place. All this allegorical. That's the state of absolute revelation, realization. And with this I will conclude. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ramaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya.